Jesse here. Just want to talk about a fun little project that I played with here. So I've been interested in satellite NDVI imagery just because of the, I guess, temporal resolution. So it's we can have a whole lot of imagery across a season, which is kind of interesting for monitoring changes. I was just playing around with this with our own ranch and trying to look at patterns of how fast pastures recover. My idea is I'd like to calculate the slope, like the rate of change of pastures greening up in the springtime. And maybe if you use that slope every year, you'll get an idea of which pastures are doing better. It's kind of an idea that, maybe the faster they green up, the more healthier a pasture is, just because there's a lot of variables in a typical year between grazing and moisture and heat and things like that. Anyways, here's I know that in the past I've used QGIS to download some imagery from Sentinel-2. I've used Pix4D Fields to do that, but it's kind of cumbersome to go through and find a bunch of good imagery. So I thought, let's see what we can spin up in Google Colab. So Colab is really cool. You can hit the little Gemini button now, and you can ask it to make a notebook. So that's what I started with, and I just asked it that I want to be able to connect to Google Earth Engine. I want to upload an area of interest. I want to see that area of interest on a map. I'm going to just start this running because it takes a while. I want to filter for cloud-free days within a time range, and then I want to be able to download all that data. So I was curious. I'm just learning to dabble with Colab. It's a pretty cool tool, and it spit out most of this. I had to bounce over to Colab to Cursor for a bit. Cursor is better for some more complex workflows, but I had to sync to GitHub and then load from GitHub in order to play it because I wasn't able to run the notebook in Colab, but it was pretty good for troubleshooting some more complex stuff. So anyways, this is my final workflow. I'm just going to walk through how it works. This is a public GitHub repo I'll share a link to. So you just click these cells and it runs them. So this is like importing Earth Engine. This one here is just set up to use my own mapping. You need an Earth Engine mapping project in order to do it. So you'll connect your account. You have to change. That's one variable I didn't mention you have to change, but you'd have to go back and change this project ID to whatever you have access to. If it failed there, so you have to go to the next cell, just run it, so you sign in, and you come back and run it. It should give a message that the Earth Engine is initialized with project Jesse Mapping. So then we can skip this one because we already ran it. And then, so now it's going to run this one, and it's going to give us a way to upload our area of interest. So we'll come down here, we'll choose our files, we'll choose mapping, home, so Lawrence Ranch plus a little extra. Okay, so for some reason I'm getting an error with when I upload KMLs. So we're going to upload, we'll upload a GeoJSON version of that. I'll have to go back and update that, but when you're exporting an area from QGIS, an area of interest, it's pretty easy to pick whichever one of these you want. Okay, so area of interest is loaded successfully. Run the next cell to preview the footprint on a map. Run this, area of interest loaded. There's the area of interest. It looks like, that's just a check to make sure that you've uploaded the right area before you go through these next steps. So now we're just going to set the info that we want from our Sentinel-2 data. So like which bands we want to look at, things like that. Cloud cover. Helper function is now ready. Proceed to the next cell to configure your filters. Press run there. Scroll to the bottom. All right, so this is you just pick whatever date range you want here, right? You can go back to 2017. Pick how much cloud cover you want. I just want cloud-free days. We're going to list the cloud. You got to, what's this say? Select both the start time and end date. It could not find a cloud-free day. That's odd. I've never had this happen before. So, whatever. These are that's pretty low clouds. I think we'll select all those. So you can pick any one of those, or you could pick the whole time series. And now we're going to choose our export options. So you scroll to the bottom of this one. And I want NDVI, I want RGB, and this is what I've been just playing around with to see if it shows anything different. It's normalized difference moisture index using the shortwave infrared band in the Sentinel-2. I'm going to call this Lawrence Ranch, and that's going to where it's so it's connected to your Google Drive in one of those first steps. So we start the export. Right, so it started the export for, this is the May 25th triplicate, like the 3 versions, right? Then we got the 3 for June 24th, July 9th, September 7th, September 9th. So it's doing all that. And then this next cell, you run it and hit refresh, and it's going to tell you, it'll change these to complete when they're done. And then you basically go to your drive, your Google Drive, and you can download a whole folder of, so this is one I just played around with yesterday. It's NDVI images, but you get the idea. It's just because it's going to take a while, right? Like we're done the NDVI and NDMI for this, but it'll take a little while. And then you can just literally drag and drop this whole thing into QGIS. And there is all the data. This is set up so that you got to download the imagery in 4326, like that long. But there is all these dates. So we just pick the top one. Maybe we change the symbology. Oh, maybe there's nothing on that. This was an older version I had, and it sometimes downloaded some null imagery, which I think we've filtered that out now. Curious just what's happened here, why it didn't color. Let's do hide all. Anyways, what it cut those out for, those will be, yeah, I'm curious. So that's why I added in this earlier version I had of it. We, I just cut it random splotches. Oh, maybe those are clouds. I wonder. Because there's not much rhyme or reason to it. We can quickly open up. So here we can see this is the files that have been downloading, right? So this is 0525, so May 25th, moisture index, veg index, RGB. So let's just download that to home satellites. Let's do demo. Download this one to the same spot. And this one to the same spot. So now I can pop those into QGIS. Oh. Shut up, Copilot. So let's just drag and drop these suckers in. Yeah. Right, so that looks good. This is our first one. Couple little tricks we can do is just bump the contrast, saturation, decrease the brightness. Makes it look a little, oh, maybe that's too much, but you get the idea. This was May 25th. Yeah, okay. So NDVI. Let's do a quick style there. Just kind of style it like smooth it out a bit. There's nice NDVI for that area. And then I'm just curious if this one tells us anything that we didn't get already. I maybe style it just a little bit different, similar. And that's supposed to be moisture. So anyways, just curious. I haven't played a whole lot with satellites and just trying to figure out what these different type of things available are. Anyways, that is kind of a quick little walkthrough. So feel free to use this little Colab notebook if you want. I've sort of added a few more cells here, but they're still working in progress. But I think this works pretty interesting, especially for looking at like a long time series. We can run a little refresh here and see. Yeah, okay, so we've got one left, but the rest of them have downloaded, which is a pretty quick and easy way to download a bunch of Sentinel-2 data. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there'd be any interesting applications with this. Have a good day.